What's up, guys? Back in for another session. I'm just gonna get right into it. This is gonna be about mindset. If you're going through like a real struggle, a real deep pain, life will beat you. It will beat you to your knees, and it will keep you there permanently if you let it. Right? I'm going through a season right now, a season of just getting hit and hit in the face. But what can you do in order to put yourself in the best possible position, right? We can sit there, we can let our emotions take control of us as a man. You're supposed to take control of your emotions. You can let it feel out, here and there, but if you let it sit there and tank your own mind, this is why I don't believe in depression, right? I don't think depression is real because I refuse to believe that depression is real because I don't want it to have that lingering thought in my mind to even allow to think I might be remotely depressed. And I refuse to believe that it's real. And if you're fighting against that, you're fighting to be like having a chance to be depressed, right? All these other things too, right? Anxiety, all this stuff. Anxiety might be a little different, but depression, I do not believe in that. And I refuse to let it take over. I'm getting beat to the face. Sad. Heartbroken. And it sucks. It does suck. I love this girl to death. Now, being heartbroken is not a fun thing to deal with, but unfortunately, reality is you have to figure out what you want to do to put yourself in the best position as possible in order to move on to life, right? Are you going to skip the workout? Are you going to skip that meal? Are you going to cheat on that meal? Are you going to go seek comfort? Because I promise you, comfort ain't the right thing to do. So, as I get beaten to the face, not only with heartbreak, other things, I'm not going to go too much into detail. I left Miami, now I'm in Houston. I don't like Houston. I just got injured. Ironman race, a thing I was training for. I did not complete registration. And just a whole bunch of other things, right? But you have to realize, at the end of the day, you can sit there and you can, be emotional for a little bit, but you can't let it overtake you, right? Because if you let it overtake you, you're going to have this mindset where it's just terrible. Terrible to try and climb out of. So, you have to consistently put in the work, go after it, get after it, whatever that is you want, your physique, you want to make money, whatever it is that you want, I consistently strive for the Ironman. I know this is like a calisthenics-based channel, but I love calisthenics. I got into Ironman training. Those are two very things I very find fond of enjoying. Enjoyment in a way where it's very hard. I used to do bodybuilding. I used to do weightlifting, gym bro stuff, and I didn't see a challenge in a way. I didn't find it very hard, right? Calisthenics was very hard, and that's what I actually enjoyed about it. Seeking hard things in order to grow. To do the hard things that are valuable, that is how you grow, right? If you want valuable things, it's going to be taking some kind of hard little effort in order to get that thing, and that's how you simply grow. So I saw that through calisthenics. Right? I didn't see average gym bro shit. I didn't see an end to it. I saw the light at the tunnel with calisthenics. And when I was doing calisthenics, I was also trying to get into the running. I thought running was very hard. It's a very mental and physical disciplining sport, right? As calisthenics, you can be, you can have certain delayed gratification with it, whereas running, you have to not only have the delayed gratification from it in order to improve, but the physical and just mostly the physical pain of just going through it the whole time of running. I found it very hard to do, and that's why I did it. That's why I did it. Build a tougher mind, build calluses on my mind in a way where I can apply to other variables in life, right? You're always going to be beat down, so why not first start by building your physique, building your mind, building that aspect in order to win life, right? So running, and then once I got into running and calisthenics, I would do calisthenics in the morning. I would wake up at 4:30. I literally have a board here. We can actually go to it right now. I used to have a board. I actually stopped. Not a board, like a map, like a calendar. I would check things off, right? And here, I'm gonna show it right now. Just give me a second. I'm gonna put stuff away from this table. Here, put it right here. Okay. Now this year has been not the greatest, but here, this is where I had like everything so planned out. Watch, 2025. Mile run leg day, 3.3 mile run, push and pull. Friday, a mile run, run, calisthenics, run, calisthenics, run, cycle. And then I started in cycling. Cycle, calisthenics, run, cycle. And, this was 2025. And in 2024, same thing. Except I didn't get into much of running until as late of 2025. And then I also got into swimming, and I did 2 triathlons that year. So, I thought, building that level of consistency and discipline, the hard thing was to do running and calisthenics. 2 very hard things. Running, very hard. Ironmans. That's why I wanted to get an Ironman. Another very hard level sport to do. And it is a very hard sport to do because you have to swim. I hate swimming. Cycling is okay. Running, awful. Running after a long-ass bike ride is completely awful. And to have that kind of stripped away from me as I was training for it kind of sucks, but I got into Ironmans just because it's just another level of hard. In your fitness journey, like whether you start wherever you are at, you will find new levels of discipline and new levels of hard as you keep upgrading or keep leveling up to the masters of fitness, right? You upgrade your physique, you get to like 13% body fat, maybe you got to get down to 10%. Now you got to learn a new level of discipline. Every level becomes a challenge in a way. Like once you get your physique and you can keep it steady, you can keep it steady if you want, but if you want to keep, finding, let's say you get to 13% body fat and you've been doing all these steps in order to get to 13, like let's say you're at 18, you've been doing all these steps to get to 13% body fat. It's going to take a new level of will and discipline to get from 13 to 10. Same as 10 to 8. 8 to, I think 8's like, I don't think anyone's before 8 or 7. But, same as calisthenics, Ironmans. I'm finding new levels of calisthenics and Ironmans, throughout my fitness journey. But I've been only doing like calisthenics for like 2.5 years. I got into this Ironman thing in 2025. It was very hard, and that's why I continue to stick to it and to never give up. And that's one thing at this video, there's one thing I want you to take away from this video is to never give up. Never give up, because just imagine, you go for something, maybe you start a business for 10 years. Imagine you just keep at it for 10 years. Think about Elon Musk when he started, or what's the other guy? There's many other guys, Mark Zuckerberg, the guy from Amazon, I can't even think of his name, but so many other guys. Just imagine they went for 10 years straight. You should take that same level of mindset and apply it to fitness too. And anything else, honestly, But, never give up. Life will always beat you to your knees, and it will keep you there if you let it, And I'm going through this season of change, heartbreak and all this other stuff that I mentioned. And I'm trying to figure out my way through it. I had like a couple days of just, moping around, just kind of having that level-headed mindset. But now I realize, life's gonna keep beating me to my knees, and I'll be at the bottom if I let it, And unfortunately, you're gonna have to push through the sand, and that's how you overcome adversity, right? And that's the beauty of it, You'll start appreciating and enjoying the things of the things you overcame a lot more as if you didn't overcome them. But this was just a little mindset session. Nothing too much of it. If you want me to make more of these, I'll still make more of these videos, real raw talks. But I'll see you for the next video. And if you liked it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you for the next video.